What am I going to do first? Hey, welcome, welcome. This is new moon, guys, on the 4th, new moon. Are you guys ready? This is a breakthrough new moon in Scorpio. It's going to be a little bit hectic until about the 10th to the 19th because we have so much Scorpion energy with some other planets and we have some trines and squares happening. So for those of you that are brand new, my name is Patty and I am here to do a new moon reading. Yes, I'll do a reading, but first I'm going to tell you a little bit of astrology side of what is going on up in our skies. This new moon is really, really relevant because it is going to have a lunar eclipse with it. What does that mean to you guys? Whatever you're going through, there is going to be an intensity. So today I'm recording this on the 3rd. Those new moon energies have actually started. So if you guys have been really speaking your mind in the last couple of days, this is the new moon energy in Scorpio because we have also some Mercury energies going on there. And we also have a couple of trines, squares. We have some retrogrades starting up. Mercury is just finally winding down and getting out of its shadow. That probably will happen around the new moon, maybe tomorrow. So we can say goodbye to Mercury. But then we have Uranus, Saturn, and no, Uranus, Neptune, and Chiron getting ready to retrograde. And I'll share with you a little bit about that as well. However, we have to be really, really mindful that Mars is in the picture with our new moon and Saturn is in the picture with our new moon, and that can create a lot of conflict. So with this new moon, it's sort of like, I hate to say it, guys, but it's going to be super intense with your conversations because of the Scorpio energy, because of the Mars energy that is happening. I don't like to go into all of the trines, sextiles, and all that kind of stuff because if you're not following astrology, it just goes in one ear and out the other. So I try to keep it basic for my tarot team here, my tarot community. So just understand that these energies in the first part of November with the new moon and what's happening with Saturn and Uranus especially, it's sort of a push me, pull me kind of a energy. So, and because Mercury's entwined in that with this new moon and up till about the 10th and the 19th, that's all I'm going to go into right now. It's going to be a huge tug of war. And here, and you're like, okay, great. We've been going on with this with our readings, right? And it's been sort of what's happening is still a reset. We're trying to get rid of the old toxic, no good, helping us, doesn't work, any energies, and we're trying to move forward that Uranian energy and Mars energy that wants to accelerate and move forward. But then what happens is we have Saturn and that says, no, we want to stay in this, conservative, constrictive, this order and fashion of things that need to stay in order. So there's this push me, pull me. What does that mean for you guys? What it means is that during this 1st of November till about the 10th of November, it's going to be a tug of war between either you and your partner, you and your job, you and whoever. It's got to be a person. Definitely, it's not a thing. This is a person. And that tug of war, that middle of that rope is beginning to get thinner and thinner, and it's about to snap. Okay, so what that means is that those conversations are going to get heated, they're going to get intense, and people are thinking, great. No, this is actually a good thing. If you've been really watching your readings for your signs, you are going through that, especially Leos. I feel sorry for you guys right now, is that you're going through this tough, tough time. Okay. And this is coming out in your conversations. This is coming out in your emotions. And this is coming out with this new moon energy. We have to remember that with the new moon energy, Saturn has been really sort of the backdrop of 2021. It's been around. It's been sort of that poking kind of energy that keeps, you got to keep order. You got to keep order. And you get these other planets that are loose and saying, let's just go with the flow. Let's try something new. And Saturn's like, no, we got to keep this order. So we have had that all through 2021, but right now we're focusing in now because we can't change the past. Let those energies flow through those hard conversations, those deep, tough conversations, getting to the nitty gritty. That rope is beginning to get thinner and thinner. And the thing is, you've got to address whatever it is with this new moon, this tension, this hard work, these deep feelings, these deep emotions. They got to come to the surface and get out. Let it snap. Because what that means is after the 10th, we've got breakthrough. This is a good thing. So as I talk, and my channel is divine driven, divine cannot work, or I put it this way, he works best in the dark. Anything that happens in the dark actually has something good to come from it. It's sort of the fruition. You guys on my channel know that I talk about the garden a lot. You plant the seed in the garden, you can't see it, but it's growing in the dark. It's doing its hard work to get those roots out, to get the stem out, to get the sprout out. Same with us humans. When we go to create a baby, it's in the dark. The seed is planted in the dark. And also, too, when you're going through your tough times and your hard times and the darkest of times, divine is saying, I am working in the dark. I am trying to grow you, teach you, mend you, heal you in the dark. So this is this energy for the first part of November in this new moon and the planets that are happening around it. A lot of planets are going direct. A lot of planets are going retrograde. Actually, Uranus, Neptune, Chiron's retrograde. All right. So, but with this new moon, some of you are going to resist the healing. Some of you are going to, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. That's going to keep you stuck. Your breakthrough isn't going to happen. So for me, I am praying and hoping that you take this tough time, face it, face the fear that you're doing for this new moon so that you can have the breakthrough that the rest of November wants you to have. Okay. The full moon coming on the 19th is going to create a little bit of a tweak in that. It's going to be a testing time for some of you. However, I'm not going to talk about the full moon right now. However, what I do want to make sure is these planets that are opposite of each other, this is where the frustration is going to be. So we got Mars and Saturn opposing each other, right? With this new moon coming through. And then we've also, and what does that mean? Well, Mars is really sort of a hot planet. It's a gas pedal pusher, let's go. Whereas Saturn is, no, it's put the brakes on. And sort of Saturn is sort of like the yes planet. Yes, yes. And then Mars is the yes planet and Saturn is no. And then the other thing about Mars is you have to look at these two planets. So one is more impulsive. Let's just do it. And that's Mars. But this Saturn energy is about, no, let's hang on. We need to prepare more about this. This is really important for you to become more proactive in this month than reactive. And that's why that tug of war rope is going to break, because we have to stop being reactive. And this is, you can see it in the world. Everybody's just being reactive. At my work. It's just, I have to make people wear masks to come into where we are working. And it's just, some people go with the flow. That's that Uranus energy. Oh, okay. Can you put your mask on? Oh, okay. But then you've got the ones that are like, no, I'm not going to. No. And this is a reactive. They're not even thinking about why or who. They're just yelling at me because I'm telling them to put on a mask. So this is the thing that we have to sort of be aware of around our society with this new moon, is that let's be more proactive, let's be more kind, let's be more empathetic, because that tug of war, every single human being on this earth is going through it, and at some point is going to snap. So when you see somebody around you snapping, they're getting into a breakthrough. So you just step back and observe, because that's not your lane, for one. It's not your journey. However, this is something that you can observe and say, this is what Patty was talking about. This is that new moon energy. This is the Mars and Uranus and Saturn and Chiron energy. Chiron's the more empathetic one. However, this is what's going on there. All right. So tension's going to really, really build. The thing is, what some of you are going to recognize is that you are going to be awareness of change. You're going to see this. You're like, oh, this is what she was talking about. This is my breakthrough. What can I learn in this dark spot? What can I learn by him or her leaving? Okay, what is going on here? There is a breakthrough. There's something better coming, or there's something more coming. There's something that is growing into a tree. A plant is going to flourish and give you rewards. So look at this breakthrough, this snapping, as a good thing. Divine does it to us also and allows these energies to happen, because without doing that, we do not grow. So it's your mindset on how you think of this snap. Okay, you can think of it as a negative way and think of, oh crap, I just lost this job. Crap. Maybe the boss snapped and said you're fired, or you know what, we got to make cuts with companies still losing money, whatever it is, and you're looking at it as a negative rather than a positive. Okay, well, there's something better coming. There's a reason for everything. Okay, so with this new moon, look at this change, this snapping, this breakthrough as a good thing, because in the future, we are moving forward. And this has been actually been really hard to read for the last 3 months, because it's been the repetition. It's putting out the old, it's ending, it's getting rid of things, it's eliminating things so that this breakthrough can happen. Now we're beginning to get through this breakthrough. Is it going to happen fast? Heck no. That's not what's going on. Change is slow, and that's what's going to happen. Why is this new moon so flipping intense? Because we have the lunar eclipse. Okay, so not only do we have the lunar eclipse, we got planets moving direct and retrograde at the same time. Intense, 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 intense. That's the best way I can say this new moon is. And it's how you think is how it's going to work out. I will tell you from experience, I didn't think about this until I was actually looking at the revisiting the new moon this morning before I got on to you guys. But it was interesting, because in these last 2 days, my energies have been tanked. I got sick sort of one day, and then at work, it was extremely intense. We've had conversations, things that needed to get out in the open, things that needed to happen, things that actually, that tug of war snapping was, everybody didn't like it. However, we all know that it needed to happen, and that's a breakthrough. So those energies are happening. Are they going to end? They'll keep going through let's see, this new moon is 4th, it's 6th, 7th, about the 7th, but then the 10th is where things are really going to begin to break through and change. So get that elephant out of the room. I've been telling you guys that for the last month. Get the elephant out of the room. Get those hard conversations out. Oops. Are these upside down? Yeah. Get these hard conversations out, and then move on from them, and then become more proactive, become more empathetic, learn what the other perspective is. If you learn what the other person's perspective is before you even get mad or anything, then you will realize that you're now beginning to break through, because you're trying to figure out what's going on with that other person before you already know what's going on with you. But that person doesn't think the same way as you, or they may not be going through the same thing as you, or they may be going through a lot more than you. So this is the thing that you really, really, really need to pay attention to. It's not about you. It's about going through you. Okay. All right. So let's go get the reading for this. And this is a general reading, guys. So, and this is for, I did one for November. Again, this is just for the new moon. I see a couple of things. So the main energies, I pulled a couple oracles for the main energies and the future energies, is risk. Now we're going to look at the numerology a little bit with this as well. So for those of you that are brand new, I do Intuitive Tarot, which is divine driven. All my downloads come from divine. Oh, wow. Wow. This is definitely something. But it is also something that has guided me all my life, and it'll turn your life around. If you're in a valley, I'm going to be starting a new channel. I'm actually just changing the name of my old channel, and I'm wiping some videos out and putting some new ones in because Divine has asked me. I don't know if I can do this, but the Divine has asked me to do this, and I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I don't think I warrant that, but hopefully it will help everybody. All right. So, but this is definitely a time of change right now, time of breakthrough for some of you. Definitely a time of change, time of growing. And this is a time for somebody, I can feel this for somebody, they're ready to put the past behind and move forward because they're realizing for somebody that staying stuck doesn't work. The old things don't work. This person is not coming back. And probably, I think they're realizing that this person isn't good for them. And that's what's going to happen. This is that breakthrough that we're talking about. All right. So the current energies for this new moon, risk. It is a risk because we can't tell the future. We don't know the future. You know, and if you can, you really don't know. If you're a psychic and you think that you really think you know, but you really don't know, because God can change that in a dime. Because he does that because he wants to know that you are not God. You are not all ending. So he is. So a lot of the times when you say, well, I thought you were psychic, it didn't turn out like the way you did, it's because God said, you know what, you're not in control. I am. Okay. And that's why this is divine driven, guided. It is not divine psychic. Okay. That's why my readings are, I try to walk the best in absolute truth. Okay. And sometimes people like it and some people don't. Some people like it, what they hear, and some people don't. That's why I say be careful when you ask your questions to me in the readings, because they are live, because you might not get the answer you like. And that's not from me. I'm just the conduit. Okay. So we've got some risk in this new moon. Yes. What's the risk? That you're going to have to get down and talk about those things that you really are afeared of talking about, or you need to face whatever it is. Be confident in yourself and dig in super, super deep, because this is a time for growth. Okay. And then we have the cat, independence and healthy boundaries. I can't make this up. It's the number 9. This is the intense time to be independent in your authentic you. This is what it's saying. Be your authentic you. Build healthy boundaries for you. This is the number 9. 9 means that it is intense. You are working. Something is being ready to finish. So maybe you say, I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to turn it around and put fitness in there, because I'm not going to go into coaching. But if you put, when you take away a bad habit or an unhealthy habit, you have to replace it with something healthy that you know you can sustain. That's the whole key. A lot of people in nutrition and fitness, they say, well, I'm going to stop eating sugar. Well, what are you going to put in place of that? Because you cannot take something away and not put something in replace of it to make it sustain. Won't work. That's called a diet. Diets don't work. So same with you. You've got to take whatever bad. So maybe you allow people to walk all over you and say, I'm going to stop. I'm going to start speaking up. I'm going to start talking and saying my mind, you know, but then you've got to replace that with what? You know, if you are not a person to speak your mind, okay, you're going to speak your mind, but you're going to do it in love and not directness. Just say, you know what? I don't like you to, you know, cuss in front of me. You know, I just don't like it. You cuss in front of me, but I don't like it. That's setting a healthy boundary. If that person hears that tug of war, that snapping I'm talking about with Mercury and the full moon, and the sun is opposing as well. So this is the thing where you want, it's going to snap. That tug of war is going to snap. If you tell somebody, I've done this firsthand experience. I do it a lot because I don't cuss. If I do, there is that temptation or that low vibration trying to pop up, or it's also maybe I'm super angry and it's my old ways coming out. I have to stop myself, think and analyze. And that's the same thing for you guys. What you need to do is just tell somebody, I don't like that. Please don't do that. And if they continue to do it, then that person is disrespectful and they don't have your best interest. And maybe this is the snap you need to break it away. Now, if you say, please don't cuss in front of me, I don't like it, and they say, oh, sorry, I didn't know. Well, I'm telling you, I've kept my mouth shut, but I don't like it. So please don't do it from today forward. I would appreciate it. And they're like, oops, I slipped. I'm really sorry. And it gets less and less. That person is really trying to respect and care for you. That kind of person should stay in your life. Two of Pentacles. This is the breaking point. This is the new moon energy. This is the snap. Okay. It could be Two of Pentacles. It could be Two of Wands. It could be Two of Swords. It could be two of whatever, because the number 2 is about either bringing it together. That snap, when that rope snaps, is to bring it together or separate. This is the time of healthy energies. Yes, you're going to take a risk, but why have something in your life that is not supposed to be there in the first place? It's time to change. The Tower. Turn it around. Don't be afraid. Don't face your fear, whatever you're fearing. And you know what? If it leaves you alone for a minute, that's what you're supposed to be doing, because you're supposed to be healing and thinking and being more proactive and having better boundaries and setting the standards. Thank you. So he's saying you teach people how to treat you. Okay, so you need to, if you want to be treated like a doormat, that's how people are going to treat you. So you can't go complain, because people will treat you how you teach them to treat you. So people complain, well, he's always yelling at me, blah, blah. Well, you allow it. You have to be strong in what you need and move forward with the Chariot. So you've got some decisions to make. And in the center of your energies for this is new moon, 100% death. This is the snap in your energy. This is the snap in the planet's energy. This is the snap in divine's energy. Something has to give to get out of the valley, to get out of the depression, get out of the anxiety, to get out of the toxic relationships, the toxic job, the toxic friends, whatever it is. Snap. What is that? Well, who's the guy that does that? Snap. Thanos. Snap. Okay. But you know what? The thing is, it's truth, because then you have the other side of the new moon. As we move forward, we have the Ace of Swords. That means the truth comes out. Your strength comes out. You become less fearless about the things of being the authentic you that you are. Is it a risk? Yes. But is it going to grow stability? Yes. Okay. Because the number 4 is about getting a solid boundary, a solid foundation, a solid beginning. The rope snapped. Okay. Time to get a new beginning. New karma. It's the same with Mars and Saturn. So, you know, and a couple other planets. So you have the old karma and the new karma. It's like starting a new karmatic beginning. So this is what's going on. The Knight of Wands, it does take energy to speak about these things. It does take energy to set your healthy boundaries. It does take that. This is remember, with the rope snaps, this is now that movement upward. This is the breakthrough moment. This is the time to say and set new standards, new karma, new energies, new positive aura around you, because that makes a difference. Do you know that with your aura, whatever you're feeling, you bring it in, or it expands. Now, if you, as I teach, it's in love and light, your aura spans way out, and you can feel a negative energy much more quickly than, like, say, if you're walking on a street and you're walking one way and somebody's coming towards you, but you get a really weird feeling like, I don't feel safe doing this. So you cross the street. That's because your aura is expanded so far out. That's love energy. But when you get negative and you get doubtful and you get anxiety and your aura becomes a little bit smaller around you, and you cannot feel that. because you're stuck in the low vibrations. All right. This new moon is going to affect relationships a lot. A lot. And here's your challenge card. The Lover's card is your challenge card because if you're in any type of relationship, moving in or out or in the middle of, it's sort of like a storm. If you are moving into a storm, in a storm, or moving out of a storm, this is your challenge card, and this is what's going to challenge you in this new moon. Some of you are going to snap, and then you're just going to say sorry and keep doing the same old crap again. And that is where you're going to stay stuck. That is where that breakthrough moment in the center of your reading, this is the new moon, okay, where that breakthrough moment is not going to work because you hesitate change. You hesitate change. You want to stay in the toxic. You'd rather stay in the sewer than actually clean off your boots, clean yourself off, take a shower, and move on to something new. How does that work? That's karma. And that's the thing, is that the energies that you're supposed to be doing is creating your authentic you and creating this new breakthrough that I am going to be who I am. And if you don't like it, and if we don't get along, maybe you're in a relationship to say, you know what, I care for you as a person, but you know what, we're really not good together. Doesn't mean you have to be mean. There's that empathetic energy, that kind energy with the Uranus energy, is that you're sitting there saying, okay, we don't work together very well, but we don't have to be mean to each other, but let's just go our separate ways. And everybody's like, oh my God, that's horrible. You got to look at breakthroughs as being a good thing, not a bad thing. This is your mindset. This is your mindset. And why? Because your mindset is here on earth and not in spirit and on the other side, the second dimension. That's why you look at it negative. Okay. So that's your definite energy. So for some of you are going to take this new moon energy and you're going to stay stuck, and you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to do those hard, deep emotional conversations. You got to do it. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You're ripping it off so slowly. And if you're one of those people out there that don't want to get deep in those conversations, you don't want to hear the truth, you're not going to move forward, and you're not going to change your life around. So stop complaining. You have no room to complain if you do not want to move forward in a healthy, positive way. Because you cannot control anybody but you. And you be your authentic self. So if for somebody out there who's lying to themselves and you don't want to change, okay, then you're going to have a hard time keeping relationships because you live in the past. I don't know who that is for, but sorry about that. But you know what? Sometimes the truth does hurt, and that's the only way that we grow. It may hurt, but ask yourself, is that the truth? And when somebody tells me something I really don't like, I have to really analyze and sit there and not blame them. Well, is that what you think? We have to sit there and say, is there some truth to that? And am I being honest to myself, or am I lying to myself? Or am I being reactive? Here we go again with that breakthrough. Are we being reactive? That's not me. When in reality, you sit there and think about it for a second. Oh man, they were right, but I don't want to say they're right. Breakthrough. Be proactive, think in authentic self, walk in your truth self. You cannot walk in truth unless you are true to yourself first, and stop lying to yourself and be honest with yourself. Okay, so that is the new moon energy. All right, let me see if Divine wants any more clarification here with this. So if he can give me that. So this is a good thing. We've been waiting for this moment for a second. We have been waiting for a moment. Welcome, Midnight. What is your question? So definitely we've been waiting for this breakthrough. We've been waiting for this tug of war to snap. We've been waiting for change. We've been waiting for new karmic cycles. We've been waiting. Is it a risk? Yes, it is. Is it a risk? Yes, it is. But risk creates something new and balance in some people. because it was like me having to let go of one of my jobs because I knew it was a risk that maybe I wouldn't have as much money to pay my bills. However, it was a risk I took and I did it, and I actually have more money and I have more time and I have more sleep. So it is a good thing. It was hard to do because I really enjoyed it. All right. Somebody definitely may have a decision about a job. Somebody may have to talk to their bosses and say, hey, you know, this is unfair. I'm not being treated fairly. And this is how I see it. You're not placing blame. You're saying, you know, boss, this is how I feel. This is what I see, because you cannot see what's going on in the boss's mind. You cannot see what's going in the numbers. You cannot see what's going in the reports. You're not going to see in whatever, but you're also not seeing what's in HR's files too on people. So this is the thing about getting out of your head and stepping out and getting somebody else's perspective. So this is going to be a change for somebody. Either they're going to voice their thing and it's going to manipulate to grow up, or it's going to open a door that something is going to get seen. Again, that snap is positive, not negative. You got to look at it that way. Thank you for that. I see some of you guys out there are really working hard to bring things together, to work together, to communicate, to make things more open between you guys. It is a risk. And there is compromise, there is sacrifice, but you guys are definitely moving forward into a positive energy. The truth is coming out through your conversations. Your bonding is going to grow much more deeper. I got goosebumps. Somebody's bonding is going to, because those healthy boundaries are now being set. You both have your own healthy boundaries. It's like I was talking to somebody yesterday. I said something about, they said, well, you can give me a job, you know, I'll go ahead and apply it. I'm like, okay, sure. He goes, but I'm not going to show up. And I'm like, then I ain't going to hire you. And he goes, well, you can, you know, I said, it's called, you know, keeping my job and also integrity. And he said, well, you can keep the job, but screw integrity. And that told me a lot about that person, whether he was joking or not. It told me a lot about that person, because integrity is number one to me. Because that is a second dimensional thing, not a first dimensional thing. First dimension is earth. Second dimension is divine. And that tells me a lot. So if that person never asked me to date him, I'd say no, until you get your priorities straight. Look, divine is saying, look to me. Pay attention to the signs I'm giving you. Pay attention to the confirmations I'm giving you. So when things snap, he's going to be nudging some of you. You're going to feel something, hear something, and you're going to say, no, I need to do this for me. I need to do this to grow me. Now, remember, when you're growing yourself in this new moon and things snap and this breakthrough happens, make sure that it doesn't end with you, but it works through you. That's why when breakups end up ugly, I don't get it. There's no reason that a breakup has to end up ugly. If you're all into the money and the material stuff and everything like that, then you're very earthbound. Very earthbound, and we would have never worked out anyway, because the thing is, I'm spiritual bound. You take all the money, you take all the house, you take all the cars, you take all whatever you want, because at the end of the day, I didn't marry somebody for that. I married somebody for them, this spirit inside, this soul inside. So you need to ask yourself those questions when it comes to splitting up or having to leave a relationship. It's for the better in this breakthrough, for something in the future, because you already know you guys don't work together anyway. Some of you are hanging on to relationships that actually, you know, deep in your heart that this is really not what you want, where you want to be, where you want to go. Now, for some of you, you're going to talk it out and make it happen, and you're going to fall in love again. For some of you, you're going to like, yeah, well, it is what it is. And then you're going to stay in this toxic relationship, and then don't complain. Don't complain. Like these fingers. Don't complain. Because when you complain, Divine is never going to give you anything, because he sees you doing something that you shouldn't even be in or doing. All right. So that's where that is. Watch and pay attention to the signs. Divine's going to be giving you signs, signals, that kind of a thing, a thought, a feeling, a snap energy, a breakthrough energy. It is a risk. You might be saying some things. Just make sure, Make sure what you say is what you mean, and what you mean is what you are going to follow through with. Okay, again, say what you mean and follow through what you just said and mean. Because a lot of people have a lot of good words and don't follow through. This is a new karmic cycle for a lot of people. This is to end an old karma cycle and start a new one. So where do you want to be in the next year? Think about that. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be stuck? Do you want to be in those bad boundaries, those bad habits, those bad energies? And I mean bad by being destructive to self, destructive to mind. Because some people say, well, there's no such thing as bad. Destructive to self, destructive to mind. You tell me that smoking is a good habit. Oh, there's no bad habit. There's no bad energy. Okay, if then something is destructive, like you want to talk the devil, evil, demons, destructive, rip things apart. This is your first card out. That is earthbound energy. That's where you stay in the earthbound energy. Okay, that will keep you stuck in this new moon. I could keep going for hours on this, but I got readings to do, so I'm going to be doing more readings today. So that's the new moon reading, guys. I ask that you please like, share, subscribe if you've watched any of this, if you enjoyed it. I know that I even know when I'm watching it, I get so into it that I don't even hit the like, but it's really important for YouTube, for us creators to have our videos spread out to more people. The only way it's done is through the likes, through the shares, and subscribes, but those likes and shares mean a lot to YouTube. So please like and share with your friends if you think this helped you, think that this is maybe you, or maybe you heard somebody's voice, oh, this sounds like so-and-so. Share it with them. And definitely look for the new channel coming up here this month. I hope you like it. I hope it helps and grows. It'll lose some people, but that's okay, because this is divine intervened and divine guided, and this is the way my life goes. I'm all a spiritual being. Everything I do is hopefully spiritual, but sometimes those low vibrations get me too, but I got to bring myself right back up, bring a new karmic cycle in. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for sharing, subscribing. Don't forget to hit that notification button, and you got to hit all, guys. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't send you all of them. They'll just pick and choose what they want to send you. So make sure you hit that all notification on there, and we will see you on the full moon and also on your next reading. Do readings weekly and live, so please come and see me and subscribe. Take care. Don't forget to walk in absolute truth and love. Bye-bye now.